Welcome to Overtime, brought to you by KingsCast at www.kingscast.net. I'm Keith Korneluk.
And I'm Chris Kalaszewski.
That's right, Kings fans. We are back in action, not on an iPhone, on a real camera. You're going to enjoy listening and watching this.
Yeah, I think much more. That's right, Kings fans. We're back with another episode. The season is winding down here at Korneluk. It's hard to believe. But we're here to talk about the game against Anaheim, the game against the San Jose Sharks, and tonight's game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. And we're also going to give a top 10 reasons why having an outdoor game at Dodger Stadium is going to be awesome. And we'll also do a segment that we've done quite a while here, and that is, how's that one guy doing?
So here we go, episode 188, Pope Joy. Let's get into it.
All right, Kings fans, so going back against a big game against Anaheim, a couple key points for me, Keith, are, wow, these games against the Ducks have been awesome this year. I mean, I really can't wait until they meet in the playoffs. I mean, obviously not going to be the first round, but I would like to see it second, maybe Western Conference Finals, because it's just a huge matchup. The energy is awesome, and this is finally the year that they're both going to be in the playoffs at the same time. So I love these games, and the Kings played well, winning 2-1.
Yeah, no, I definitely like that too, and it would be great to see Anaheim, obviously, but then on to San Jose, a Sharks team that has one regulation loss, Chris, their entire season at home.
Yeah.
One, and just a couple that they lost in overtime. Kings, of course, losing 3-2 in a shootout. Obviously, the Kings have not been as money in the shootouts as they were like 2 years ago. Like before we got, basically when we were bounced in the first round, we were awesome in the shootouts, and Quick kind of got us there. But you know what? What only matters is you make the playoffs and you win a Stanley Cup. So, hey, we'll take the extra point.
Yeah, big thing about me this game was that I hated Quick's first goal. That's the kind of goal he has to stop. Yep. Burns had a partner with the turnover in the defensive zone. Quick reaction by Burns, gets the goal. That's the goal that Quick has to stop. I mean, hopefully going to the playoffs that he tightens up a little bit more, because he can't do these near side sort of shoulder shrugs and hoping he's going to be stopping goals, because it only gets better in the playoffs, better teams. Yeah,
the thing with the San Jose Sharks, Chris, is I thought they were kind of rebuilding on the fly, but they're like, you know what, this season, it's kind of over. Well, they made a couple of trades, and look where they are. They can't lose at home. They're looking like real foes, and a real possible fifth-seed opponent against the Los Angeles Kings here coming up in the playoffs. So it'll be really interesting to see. And then tonight, Columbus Blue Jackets and Jack M.F. Johnson back at Staples Center. Chris, the first thing that I saw, Tommy Lasorda, the coach of the Dodgers. I mean, do you remember any other coach of the Dodgers other than, Don Mattingly? Tommy Lasorda, the pinnacle of coaches, drops the ceremonial puck. What does he do? He just shakes Dustin Brown's hand and just turns around and leaves. Gives no attention to Jack Johnson whatsoever. Completely snubbed him. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, Tommy Lasorda, obviously another LA icon. The guy is amazing. What a motivator. One of the best coaches, I think, of all time. Take a look at this game. This is not your father's Blue Jackets. By father, I mean, if your father was born in the last 10 years. Because these Jackets are locked and loaded. I mean, talk about a team that we have written off. I think everyone wrote them off. And, they had a big trade deadline moves. Got Gaborik. I mean, they're a team that really is pushing hard and could absolutely make the playoffs. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, and Sergei Bobrovsky, I mean, a guy, this is a guy that's probably a number 2 on the Philadelphia Flyers, gets traded for 2 seconds. You're thinking it's a bad move by Scott Housen. This guy is the number 1 candidate for Vezina by a lot of pundits out there, and tonight really impressed me. Of course, the Kings getting on the board first, Columbus coming back and getting on the board, through Quick's 5-hole. It's going to happen. And then, of course, Los Angeles Kings end up closing it out 2-1. Really, really key. 55 points now. To me, it's not locked in, but I think we're going to get the first time and since, I don't know, the Dave Taylor era. No, not even Dave, maybe Rogie Vachon, that we will have home ice advantage.
Yeah, looking forward to that. I mean, I think we talked about that. I mean, I think we're hoping that for a 5th and 4th seed, I think. I mean, obviously for the home ice. But, this is a game that they really had to win, because the Sharks won again tonight. So they're again tied with points. They do own the tiebreaker, so they still sit in 4th. But the Blue Jackets, it's a force to be reckoned with. And the team that I don't really necessarily want to face in the playoffs, because for the second straight time, last time the Kings played the Blue Jackets at home, it was the same game. It was 2-1, and the Kings just held on, to win. It wasn't a 5-1 blowout like you would expect before the season started.
I will totally take the Blue Jackets, Chris, well, it won't happen in the first round, but I'm not afraid of them. I will take them in the playoffs. A lot of people were comparing Bobrovsky to Jonathan Quick last year. He's the guy that got him into it, if they do get into it, which I don't think that they will. But, I mean, let's be real here. The Columbus Blue Jackets not winning a Stanley Cup, and they're not getting past the Los Angeles Kings in any round. All right, Chris, so Matt Green back in the lineup tonight, finally, after being on injured reserve for so long. Keaton Ellerby sitting his ass on the pine.
Yeah.
Kind of where he belongs, I'm not going to lie. But, I really liked seeing Matt Green back in. I mean, that to me is like a trade deadline move. It's kind of like Robin Bergier, you know what I mean? You move him at the deadline. Good news is he was already on our roster, and already our penalty kill looked a lot better. Matt Green, clearing rebounds like he used to. I mean, thank God he's back.
Yeah, you know what? Not to sound cliche, but the guy's a rock. He's the guy's a rock in the team. He's an emotional leader. He's a big part of this team, was last year. He's not going to put the points up, obviously, but yeah, he holds it down. And having him and Regier, I really like that because you got two big, bulky dudes who are just going to push you around, and that's perfect for the playoffs because we're going to continue, like we did last year, just to push these players around and let them know that they're not going to get anywhere near quick.
And I'd still prefer to have Willie Mitchell back, but
yeah,
just me. Other Kings news, the worst kept secret in the National Hockey League is that the Los Angeles Kings are going to host the Anaheim Ducks outdoors for not really the Winter Classic, but kind of like a SoCal Winter Classic on January 25th at, wait for it, Dodger Stadium. Chris?
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a long time, how awesome we thought it would be to have an outdoor game in LA. And you know what? This isn't going to be unlike any other game. I mean, obviously there's 5 other outdoor games, which we talked about being a little bit overkill. But it's going to be a really exciting moment for Kings fans and hockey fans and just sports fans throughout Los Angeles. It's a very special game that's going to take place, and I'm very excited for it.
Well, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but Dodger Stadium seats 50,000 people, right?
I think it's a little under that, but yeah, it's
okay.
close.
So it's close, but I mean, where do you put the rink? Obviously, in the middle of the field. Is there going to be like rafters or things like that? I mean, you're going to be able to pack so many people into this game. I think it's really exciting. I'm looking forward to it. The wives have already told us that they have to go, which is really, really bad for us financially because, But no, definitely looking forward to that. I think it's going to be an amazing experience. I kind of wish it was someone other than the Anaheim Ducks, but you know what? We're going to take it. There's going to be a lot of great news coming out, like, what kind of jerseys are they going to wear?
Yeah.
I was hoping for the old school yellow. I think they're hideous, but I would love to see them anyway. And that's why we're going to bring you the top 10 most awesome things about an outdoor game at Dodger Stadium.
So number 10, we're Kings fans, so no one is going to get beat up in the parking lot unless you're wearing San Francisco Giants gear.
Number 9, you're not going to have to deal with those small annoyances like snow and extreme temperatures.
Number 8, like most games, the ratio between Ducks and Kings fans will be about 1,000 to 1.
Number 7, watching Jay Flats run around Dodger Stadium without dying of exhaustion.
Number 6, Ducks fans can finally see firsthand what a big wiener looks like.
Number 5, 3 words for you. Supercharged T-shirt cannon. Boom.
Number 4, even Drew Doughty can't wear a Toronto Blue Jays hat to the game.
Number 3, trough urinal diving.
Number 2, Magic Johnson dropping the ceremonial first puck. Oh, it's happening.
And number 1, it's motherfucking Dodger Stadium.
All right, Kings fans, we're bringing back an old podcast segment called How's That One Guy Doing?, where we take a look at Kings players of past and see how they're doing, checking in stats-wise.
How's that one guy doing? Andrei Loktoinov. In 25 games played with the New Jersey Devils, he has 7 goals, 4 assists, and is a -2. Lifetime with the Los Angeles Kings. In 59 games played, he has 7 goals, 7 assists, and is a -2. So he's kind of doing better, but he's pretty much just okay.
Kevin Westgarth. Good old Westy. Hey, he is still, surprisingly, still in the National Hockey League. He has 0 points and is a -1. Are you surprised? We are not.
How's that one guy doing? Thomas Hickey. In his draft year, he was said to be Wade Redden-like. Well, this season he has 4 points. Wade Redden has 5 points. So that's pretty much accurate scouting.
Scott Parse. Parsey. We looked around the interwebs to find some stats, but we actually found out that he is not on the active roster of the New Jersey Devils or the Albany Devils. I am really not that surprised here.
All right, Kings fans, so we will be right back at you next Saturday, the final game of the regular season at the Stape. We'll be back right here. Hopefully, Chris and I will be wearing jerseys off the players' backs. No, it's not going to happen. They don't give any love to half-season ticket holders. A story for another day, Kings fans. Special thanks to our editor, Nathan Popejoy. Link his Twitter handle up right here, right there.
They're
pretty
all
much
over the place.
everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe, like us on YouTube. You know you got to. I'm Keith Kornelek.
And I'm Chris Kalazewski.
Thanks for watching Overtime by KingsCast.